How's it going, Aries community? Soul Tigers here with a special story for this wonderful frequency. So some keywords here, and I quote, just like Muhammad Ali, the champ is back, end quote. You become what you say you are, Aries. Recognize the champ that you are. How you go about things externally and internally. See how a champ must be flexible in their beliefs, adapting to each match, willing to put forth all efforts to get to the prize. Each challenge in life is like fighting a different opponent in the ring. You have conquered, and now the win is your new evolvement into how you understand your very self, Aries. Woo, woo, woo. Let's talk about your first house, emergence of self-awareness. So this tells me that through the challenges of this year, by this time, from the beginning of the year till now, you have been able to conquer a lot of different things in your life, and you're starting to see yourself from a different view. So kudos, 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 Aries. So let's get started with everything. First thing that I already peeked at was this card. It talks about our challenges. And there may be something here you're not seeing, maybe something that you're not quite understanding with your challenges. Let's keep continuing. We have this someone else energy. So definitely there's a third party, or you're involved in something that has to do with more than one people. And this could be through the different commitments that you have around you, with the different people, places, and or things. And the challenge here is you're not sure. You're not sure what to say yes to. You're not sure how to say yes. Maybe this yes has to do specifically with yourself. Something here is you're holding back on things. You're holding back your free will. You could be of holding back how you view yourself. Maybe viewing yourself from more of a divine kind of view opposed to a shadow side kind of view where you're taking things out on yourself. It has to do with something, someone, maybe stability, maybe somebody messing with your stability kind of thing. We have almost like a fire sign, earth sign kind of face off. Now stability versus your charisma. And when things knock off your charisma, it definitely can affect your stability. Don't let the things that you love fall to wayside because of certain people's actions. Then we have gambling. Could be needing to take a chance on something, maybe needing to take a chance on something different, doing something different when it comes to dealing with situations that you have no control over. Maybe opening the door to yourself, saying, yes, it's time to take a chance and take everything that I know, everything that I'm passionate about, and move forward from here. Everything that I'm passionate about, it's not wrong to be passionate about. Everything that I feel within, it's not wrong to be feeling this way. And I only say that with the fire sign here because in some of the tarot decks, the fire signs with the wands and stuff, it will speak about emotions and stuff like that. So our emotions are tied to our charisma. If we're feeling really low in our emotions, then we will feel depleted when it comes to having charisma here. So just know, being able to see who you are and taking that will, knowing where you want to go and going towards it, and being open to healing, but also learning things. That's what Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius are about. But don't forget, each of these fire signs have their own ways of putting their foot down. Aries, think about it. You get really headstrong when you get sick and tired of the bullshit. Leos will go in for a confrontation, but they will pull themselves back, and they'll go about their business. They will not even deal with it at times because they want to put their energy to something else. It could be a little bit of something like that. But a Sagittarius, ooh, don't you make a Sagittarius mad. Don't you make a Sagittarius mad, because they'll take that bow and arrow and they will put a target on somebody's back. I am hearing to say that. So maybe this is about Aries knowing that you are a champ. You have this awareness of yourself, and you're going to step into your personal power. This personal power that's led through your different philosophies in life, what you've learned over time, knowing that you have this stability, knowing that you can be fixed in the ways that you go, but still be adaptable, that you can be smart enough not to have to always take the lead, knowing that that flexibility comes in when you need to sit back and learn something, but just knowing that you have this loyalty to the things that you're dedicated to when it comes to your stability. Ooh, I like this so far. I like this. Now, this challenge with the someone else, the whole thing is this challenge is something that is not out there in the open, I feel like, but it's out in the energies when it comes to this someone else commitment and challenges, and this taking a chance, telling yourself, yes, it's time to move forward. Sometimes we can't help how people treat us. We can't help how people come in towards us. We can't help how people are treating others, whether they're in relationships, whether they're in a management position type of thing. What we can do is help how we react to things, how we will analyze things versus overthinking things. So this is really, really neat as you see how everything falls out. So definitely something falls on this earth sign for sure. And I think it's this tower here. So when it comes to your stability, when it comes to your charisma, when it comes to you saying, yes, it's time to go, it's time to take a chance and do something different. This is what's going to help you see things from a different perspective. On being able to adapt your beliefs. Sometimes we take out other people's actions on ourselves, wondering what we're doing wrong to keep this happening. And the whole thing is you have to see things more from the diplomatic view, more of a view that is, how do I want to put this? More of a view who takes care of business when it comes down to your environment, when it comes down to the people that you love, when it comes down to your kingdom. And this is a more mentally strong kind of perception and things. You could have your feeling about something, but then your mind is overthinking things, which is causing probably more anxieties for you. And here you're not seeing how you can have that strong head view into things. And this can kind of be a little bit of a teeter-totter kind of challenge for you, I'm seeing, Aries, because you can get really, really headstrong in things and head forward, but then at other times you could just let people kind of, I don't want to say walk all over you, but in a sense take advantage of your emotions, I'm hearing to say, by the things that they're doing. And it's because you're over analyzing, you're overthinking things, and it puts your emotions too much invested into things because things aren't clear here. Whatever it is that's happening, it could be happening with somebody younger who is of kind of conflicting energy. This person who is of younger energy is somebody who uses a lot of things maybe to make themselves feel better. Usually this is more of a depressing kind of card, but I feel like whoever this is, they use a lot of stimulants in their life. somebody who doesn't have the natural energies of things. And whoever this is has been bringing a lot of conflicts into your life, a lot of conflicts into your emotions again, which affects your charisma of things. And the thing is you don't know how to get out of this mentally. Whatever it is, it doesn't feel fair to you. It's something that you've been dealing with for quite a while. Honestly, I'm hearing that you would have thought by now this would have fizzled out, whatever it is that you're dealing with, but it hasn't fizzled out, and you don't understand why it's not fizzling out. And this is where you could feel a little bit naive about things. This could be where you can get a little over emotional with things, because it feels very overbearing to you, because no matter how you try and work your success, the situation still keeps happening in the present moment when it comes to whoever these others are. What I'm hearing to say is you feel like there's no escaping this situation. And because the situation keeps popping back in your life, whether it's a person, place, and or thing, it definitely makes you feel like you are getting further away from a 10 of Cups energy. And that 10 of Cups energy is having harmonious relationships around you, with the people that live with you, with the people that you work with, type of thing. But again, you're not seeing all that. You know that you're independent. You know that you've built this independentness. But when it comes to the emotional side of things, it's not feeling the same. And it's kind of taking energy away from you. That's what I get. I'm hearing siphoning. Ooh, this is a hard one. How do we deal with situations that are happening to us that don't, in a sense, directly involve us? Because we have this kind of third party energy. So there's something here where I feel like somebody else is kind of putting you into their mix, their drama kind of thing. This could be something where you are trying to avoid things, you're trying to look past things and stuff like that, but for some reason you still get sucked into their drama. Now, this is what happened with Sagittarius. It's a little bit of a different story though, but for Sagittarius, one of the main things is a lot of times you are brought into people's lives. You keep having this drama show up at your doorstep, even though you're doing everything to avoid it, because there is divinity that is working through you to teach other people their lessons. It happens. Just like dark energy can work through ones who are aligned in that low frequency kind of thing, divinity works through us too when we're aligned in that higher energy of love, light, and compassion. So there's something here that you may end up being a lesson for this person, whoever it is that keeps dropping in on you. And you got to think, whatever this is, you may not be stuck on it, but it is stuck on you. And I'm also hearing that word, that old saying back in the day, it's stuck on stupid too. You're not stupid, but they're stuck on a stupid cycle. Cycle or psycho? Ooh. Or is there a psycho that is stuck to them? You never know, because you can get crazy managers. You can get crazy higher up kind of co-workers. I've seen it. I've dealt with it. Alright, so this is interesting. We're kind of laying out the things that you've been dealing with. And I feel like you're kind of dealing with this on your own. I don't think that you're really talking to many people about this. Maybe there's one other that you could be kind of consulting with, just kind of letting them know the shit that you're noticing. But other than that, this is something that you're really handling by yourself. Now I get why that saying comes in, the champ is back. Because Muhammad Ali, that's who this is about. If you watch the one movie about them, and they're singing the champ is back, the champ is back. Anyways, if you think about a boxer, they're in the ring with just them, the opponent, and the referee. They don't got a whole, well, they got their support team by them, but it's not like wrestling where they can tag somebody in. This is just them facing this challenge on their own. And I feel like this is very fitting for this story, because this is a challenge that you are facing on your own. And it's hard to know how to feel about it, because it is just you facing it, and you can't seem to stop it, and you can't seem to derail it. So let's see what this block here, let's see what the challenge is, if we can find it in this block. So angels of protection, please help guide and protect us as we navigate the block for the Aries community. Okay, I'm hearing that's enough. All right. Maybe emotionally and mentally, saying yes to that's enough. That's enough investing into it. It's enough over analyzing it and overthinking it. It's enough putting our emotions to it. So something here at the biggest distance. One of the things here in the block is being able to move out of attachments. Move out of attaching energy to us. Then we have the Six of Cups. When it comes to people that we deal with, maybe these people that we've known for a while, these are people who are in our past, these are people who have been around us at times. Understanding that sometimes we're going to run into individuals who are going to try and create illusions to attack our strength, create illusions to keep us lost in our minds because of how they want to come in and how they want to treat us. This is a very taking energy kind of thing. This person kind of wants their cake, and they want their cake, but yet they want it too at the same time. It's like somebody eating a piece of cake and wanting to keep the cake even though they're eating it. It's like, well, you're consuming it. You can't keep it if you're consuming it. I hear this person kind of wants too much for some reason. I don't know what it has to do with. They definitely, I have this king to the queen when it comes to pentacle kind of energy. And what's in between them is the Seven of Cups, illusions, something that isn't quite settled. And I feel like this is what they're playing on. You could be between two people, literally two people who are trying to create facades. This does happen. This can happen. It can happen at work. It can happen in your personal life. It can happen in a community. It can happen at home. It can happen with family. It can happen with friends. It can happen with all kinds of different kind of situations. But the thing is you're stuck in the middle of these two people who are heavily unbalanced. And the thing is they're trying to attack your charisma. They're trying to attack your charisma. They're trying to attack your confidence. They're trying to attack your personal power. And they want to leave you in your head. They want to leave you anxieties. They want to leave you as somebody who's passive, to where you don't stand up for yourself. Instead, you just kind of look past their kind of actions. Oh my goodness. And it's some major unblocking that needs to happen here. Unblocking, especially when it comes to your mind, especially when it comes to how you head off about things. The challenge here is basically to uncoil yourself, because they have you so wound up, because you don't know what to do because of the illusions that they're giving you, the lies, the facades, the trying to pop in and out and maybe assert what authority they think they have. Maybe they're overstepping boundaries, and it's really not great how they are operating. All I know is if you're dealing with somebody who operates more out of the masculine, So the masculine one here is not somebody who's just a man, but this is the person who makes the most moves. This is the forcer type of energy. Whereas you have little Igor here, who is kind of just along for the ride. And Igor's along for the ride because Igor is too busy focusing on whoever the masculine is. And this masculine is too busy focusing on whoever you are or whatever role you're playing in this situation. So there could be some kind of jealousy happening here. You can get, and this is for instance, I've had a neighbor before that was heavily jealous. The female was heavily jealous, and then she found a reason not to like me. And they were kind of shitty people, I shit you not. They would leave their dogs out. They were backyard breeders, and they would leave their dogs out in Colorado winter weather. And they would not just leave the adults out. These would be puppies. These would be puppies that were like 3-4 months old that they would leave out. And because I would say something, I would ring up alarm because their dogs were aggressive and my kids were little, and their dogs, one of their dogs, he sicked on a neighbor thinking of somebody trying to break into their house, and this neighbor was actually on the side of her house trying to take care of her yard, and he may have been on drugs, may have been drunk, but he brought his dog out and he sicked it on somebody, and he didn't know it was the neighbor, and it bit her. And it got her good. But anyways, long story short, these people didn't like me because I stood up for the neighborhood. I would call the Humane Society because their aggressive dogs were always out. And I had 2 young kids who used to walk back and forth to school. I would even I had a stranger come up to my house one time asking me if there was anything I could do to help them go up the road because that one of the aggressive dogs were out. I was like, lady, you're just gonna have to go around the block. I don't know what to tell you. It's dark. I'm not gonna do this. But anyways, this couple, because the lady was jealous, she started to target me. And what was interesting is they started to, because they had their own problems. He was from the Slapahoe tribe, I could tell you. And so she would pop up with marks on her, but to strengthen their relationship, they would start to target me, even though I'm trying to protect my kids and stuff like that. And you will have weird ass people like that have toxic relationships, who are just toxic people who barely are hanging on by a thread with each other. But if they could find somebody to hate on, somebody to bully and stuff like that, for some reason that will strengthen their bond. But there always has to be something in between them that they're targeting to strengthen them. And I feel like this is kind of like what's happening here. You got stuck in the middle between 2 people that you don't want to be in the middle of. Like, it's kind of really gross here. Like, ugh. Both of these people, what I can tell you is they are kind of the ones, they are the ones who keep up with the Joneses. These are very, very superficial individuals. These people have no value when it comes to ethics, morals, and stuff like that. These people are consumed with consumerism and wearing a mask, buying the Gucci bags, making sure to go out every night, making sure to have overly expensive vehicles to make it look like they have something more. But when you really dive into this energy, these people are quite lonely. They are not satisfied with the choices that they made. They don't like each other. They don't. There's no love actually here. But they are dependent on each other because they are both low frequency kind of people. And that means that they don't love themselves. They only figure that this is all that they get in life. And they bury their voids through consumerism opposed to trying to heal them. Now, you got stuck in the middle of this situation. It wasn't by choice. I'll tell you that. And I think that's the thing that's a little hard for you. That is really hard for you. But the thing is as the wheels turn, as life keeps going, as karmic wheel keeps turning, we face these challenges with ill people like this to be able to grow stronger in ourselves. And maybe here you will see how over-investing the emotions and the overthinking mind into this is how it takes energy away from you. And maybe the unblocking thing here is learning how to rebuild yourself, rebuild how you focus onto things, how you even analyze things that you come into conflict with, how much to invest versus when to put it down. I think that's what this is about here. Ooh-wee. Because you lead your life through charisma. That's a lot of it. Even when it comes to the mental side of things, when you are in what you feel like is purposeful, things flow for you. Things flow very beautiful for you. But when you find things that happen to you that don't serve a good purpose by individuals that are trying to take advantage of the positions that they play in your life, that's where it becomes hard. Because sometimes we grew up with that understanding is treat people how you want to be treated. And so many years later, decades later, society doesn't operate like that anymore. Society is very cutthroat right now, and there's a lot of people who are out for themselves. And maybe there's something here that makes you really freaking special. So special that these people seek out to create this facade with you because there's something that you do they feel like you would fill their voids, even though the whole thing is they need to heal, they need to do better. Well, fine. You want to watch Aries? Watch Aries heal. Watch Aries move past this. Watch this champ knock out this challenge in this ring here and take a chance on moving forward and learning what to invest in and what not to invest in anymore. Ooh, I like that. All right, so divine and universal energy, what are the positive messages you have for the Aries community? Oh, I love this. Patience is going to be your first one. Definitely patience, patience, patience. I'm hearing everything will come to terms, will come to expiration in due time. Due time. Because remember, these people are also investing in you just as much, if not more. They're investing in you by their jealousy, by their envy. But the whole thing is they don't realize that they're taking from themselves. They're taking their focus. They're taking their energy. They're taking their own charisma that they could use for something different. And they've invested in envy. They've invested in jealousy. They invested it in hate. They've invested it in corruption. Just remember that, because this is an inner journey here. This is definitely an inner journey, and you're going to learn how to find abundance, especially when it comes to people messing with you. It's not you personally that's doing this or that's provoking them. It's them themselves, and this is beautiful. Self-love. This was actually at the bottom of the deck after I got done cleansing out, and this is what you need to say yes to. Stop blaming yourself for other people's actions and start giving back to yourself. Start giving back to yourself and rebalancing how you view things. Being able to see that progressive type of energy that you need to put forward, but also recognizing when it's time to relax, when it's time to chill, when it's time just to observe kind of thing. There might be something here that you notice about these ones. sexual energy. So sexual energy is going to talk about our vulnerabilities. And this is something that kind of leaves you vulnerable. Maybe this is something that you've been dealing with for some time, with the Six of Cups energy right below this and the Six of Pentacles. Maybe dealing with situations like this is something that's always left you vulnerable, and it's left you not understanding what's happening. Well, this is the time to start to conquer it, start to rebuild, and start to gain wisdom from this. Instead of taking it out on yourself, how can we step into our personal power? How can we step into our will? How can we still remain motivated and disciplined when it comes to these ones who are trying to knock us off course? Because that's what they're trying to do, is they're trying to knock you off course because they want you to believe how they believe. But that's not for you. You are still here with unlimited possibilities. But it's a new wisdom gained, or a wisdom that we've had within us. Because remember, we have that divinity wisdom within us as well. That we're going to learn how to have more sound foundations around us, especially when it comes to our stability, especially when it comes to our mental state and how people come in and they try and mess with us. Something here we're a little confused on is definitely healing. Healing energy here. Healing the energy of your emotions. You know, not taking it out on yourself. Being able to observe how much you have built, how you have built, how that you are able to provide yourself with everything that you need, regardless of whoever is trying to create facades for you, whoever is trying to create trauma for you, whoever is trying to make you feel less. Because that's the name of their game here, is they want you to feel less. They want you to keep spinning your wheels when it comes to just staying in this one spot and being between these individuals. These individuals want to make you feel this small because they feel this small. Man, forget them. Forget them, forget them, forget them. Again, because you are of abundant energy. Just know that. And when you realize that you are above abundant energy, then we're going to be able to challenge things. And what do I mean by abundant energy? I mean that you are an energy who handles business, who walks hand in hand with their beliefs. Somebody who is also smart enough to know when to get out of other people's facades, other people's games. But a lot of times it isn't them that's doing it. It's because we're so tightly wound up from the things that we have learned, things of how to deal with things. And maybe it's time to kind of undo what we once learned and start to paint a little something else, you know, a little bit of a different view, bringing things more to life for this time in our lives. And it's done through self-care, especially when people are targeting things that make us feel vulnerable. Remember how we build our stability is through some of the things that we're loyal to, through some of the things that we choose to hold compassion for. And you know, some of those things will run in conflict with us, especially when it comes to others trying to come in and mess with us, mess with our charisma, mess with our emotions, you know. And sometimes taking a gamble and saying yes and committing to handling things differently than what we were doing before to help us get out of the mental games, the facades that others come in who are unbalanced, trying to stick us in the middle of their drama is a part of an inner journey that helps unblock us from really big barriers that we have within us. And these barriers could have to do with the way that we see things, the way that we go about certain relationships around us. These barriers who tear down the walls to people who want to bring their misery our way to try and overburden us. But the thing is, stepping into our strength again, confronting the fears here, and putting that investment of energy back into ourselves. Because we want to heal this. Yes, we've been going through this for a while with these others, and that's okay, because again, these others want to block us. They want to block our unlimited possibilities. If these people were happy with themselves, then they wouldn't be showing up trying to mess with you. But you have to remember, even though these people have their own lives, their own things that they're dealing with, doesn't mean that they aren't chained to things as well. And if they weren't chained to low frequency things, then they wouldn't be coming in and messing with you. And I feel like this is the ancient wisdom here. You learning that not everything that somebody does to you, tries to say about you, has anything to do with you. A lot of times it has to do with others who are not happy, others who feel like life hasn't been very fair to them. So they look to you. They look to you to try and fill their voids, even though it's not your job. It is not your job. Don't let them create the illusions that they have about themselves within you. Again, a lot of times people who are targeting you, wanting you to make you feel this big, is because they want you to feel like they feel. No. Knock this out. Conquer this challenge and put it to rest. 2026 is gonna be a new year. A little detour real quick when you feel yourself ready to get confused, ready to want to overanalyze, wanting to emotionally invest in this situation. Give it to the divine. Ask the divine, can you take this? Can you help me practice patience around this? Can you give me clarity with this? Can you put this situation in your love, light, and compassion as I give it to you? You can put down situations, and anything that reminds you of it, anything that tries to come up where they're trying to poke you, you don't have to react. And you can give yourself permission not to react. You can give yourself permission just to shrug it off and move on to the next thing. Alrighty, this is gonna conclude it. Thank you, Aries, so much for your time, your energy, and your patience. And don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, and spirit guides. And as always, I hope you have a most wonderful rest of your day.